What's up, guys? It's Casey Zogelman, aka the fourth Sanderson sister, coming at you with another Hocus Pocus 2 speculation video. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I did. I ate a lot, and my diet and workout routine went to crap. So did my mental health briefly, so I appreciate you guys going along with my holiday break. I really did need it. And now I'm back with another speculative outlook on the upcoming, long-awaited, overdue Hocus Pocus 2. I've seen some behind-the-scenes photos, nothing super telling, thank goodness. Very vague, just little photos of the girls that just make me so happy. But specifically, only two of the girls. Winifred and Sarah are pictured together quite a bit, but Mary is mysteriously missing a lot. I believe this could be a plot detail. So if you're new to my channel, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't, and let's talk about the possibility of Mary Sanderson, Winifred's most loyal ally, flipping the script. Come, we fly.
Fly! On what do we fly?
So, Mary Sanderson, where do we begin? Let's break it down and see what would make her jump ship and join the heroes. First of all, she is the middle child of the family. Middle children are often the ones who are forgotten in the family. The eldest is looked at to be the most successful. The youngest is the baby. The middle kid is just that. They're the middle kid. And that's about it, usually. So, hypothetically, if someone was to point that out, it may strike a nerve with her, for the simple fact that it's like, no, I'm just as good as my sisters. Maybe not as good as Winnie, because, you know, that's how she is. But I think it might get her just a little bit, being like, how dare you think I am not as good as the other witches? I'll show you. Number 2, her powers are the weakest that we know of. She has the power of tracking, which is scary as heck when you think hard enough about it, but that's the extent of it. However, that could be used to the hero's advantage. If they, again, were to point that out, maybe it would strike a nerve. You gotta hit the sweet spot for this to kind of set her off. And the sweet spot would be kind of taking digs at her, I think. These two things would help them start trying to sway her over to the good side. That and a brief recollection of one very, very significant moment in Hocus Pocus. Take a look.
What a fool to give up thy life for thy sisters.
Oh yeah, that moment is so powerful when you really study the last few minutes of the movie. I've explored this in a fanfiction series I've had running for a while, which it isn't up anywhere. I want to finish the series before I put it up anywhere. And this moment specifically stands out as a reason for Mary, the most loyal ally of Winifred, to think about turning. Mary has devoted her whole life to being Winifred's right-hand woman. She worships the ground she walks on. She didn't care about being called dumb or being hit because she loved her big sister. But imagine spending your entire life being that devoted to someone only to hear them basically say, yeah, I don't give a crap about the lives of my sisters as long as I get what I want. That would be a terrible jolt to the heart for someone like Mary. Even after that statement, she still tries to save Winifred when she calls for help. Sarah does not. I believe that moment was denial from Mary, because there's no way she didn't hear what Winifred said. There is no way she and Sarah did not hear that. We also know that Winifred had zero intention of sharing Max's life force with her sisters. Guys, she was going to let them die. If Mary remembers that moment in the sequel, that's going to make for a big realization moment. Because Mary's not dumb. She's really quite smart, just a little flighty. But that part, I honestly kind of blame on her DNA, as dogs are also easily distracted by something, so it could be that part of her life kicking in. But, you know, they also remember things very well after some training. Mary would put 2 and 2 together if certain triggers throughout Hocus Pocus 2 makes themselves known. She would realize her loyalties laid with the wrong person and start moving away from her sisters, ultimately betraying them and possibly pulling her baby sister along, like I discussed in my speculation video on the possibility of Sarah flipping sides, which you can watch by clicking on this thing right here. Now, why all these thoughts came through my head in the first place goes back to those photos I was talking about in the intro. I'll try to post them somewhere in this area. If I can find them again, I will try. There's plenty of photos with Winifred and Sarah in them, but very few of Mary with them. The thing that really got my gears turning was a special effects behind the scenes video that I was studying when I did the video on the flight effects, which you can watch by clicking on this thing right here. They were doing a flight scene and Mary was nowhere to be found. So this made me think of 2 things. 1, the heroes are holding Mary hostage, which honestly would be pretty funny. Or 2, Mary's willingly going with the heroes and working with them. Now here's why this twist would be so freaking good. You'd never see it coming. Sarah jumping ship? The entire fan base is on board with that, and we would be shouting that we predicted it. But Mary? Oh man, that'd just knock our socks off, because you take the most loyal character and make her a traitor, and we wouldn't see it coming. But it makes sense. Like I said before, she's the forgotten one, the weakest one, the most vulnerable to triggers from the last time the sisters were on Earth, the one who would realize the life that she knew was wrong. What she'd been doing was wrong. Mary coming to her senses would be peak villain redemption, because let's be honest, she's one of the hardest characters to redeem because, well...
Let's barbecue and fillet.
Shishka baby.
Roast him, Winnie.
But that is called cannibalism, my dear children, and is in fact frowned upon in most societies.
Mary is the scariest of the Sanderson sisters because of this. Her power and her blind loyalty to Winifred to boot. Having her flip the script and become a hero would just floor me, and I think it would also floor everyone else. Now I'm going to do what I did in Sarah's video and talk about the likelihood of this actually happening for a moment. I gave Sarah a 60-40 chance, with 40 being her flipping sides. For Mary, after compiling all of this, and more so the photos and that footage, I'm giving her a solid 50-50. Of course, looking at this logically, I don't know what's going on there on set. Kathy could have easily been missing from those photos and that footage because she had another commitment. She does have a Christmas movie out this month, so she could have been off the set finishing up stuff with that while Bet and Sarah rehearsed. Obviously, she's involved with the new song we're getting, which I am not discussing in great length on this channel. I'll explain why at the end of the video. So I really think we have a 50-50 shot of Mary Sanderson turning good because of what I have mentioned. She deserves more respect, and she has the motivation to claim it if she just remembers what Winifred said in the graveyard. Blind loyalty is fine, but it just takes one thing to really dig at that person to make them realize, oh, you're not okay, and it's not okay for me to be doing what you're doing. And I can see her being the one to do it. Almost a little bit more than Sarah, not because Sarah's not smart. I give her all of that credit. Obviously, You guys have watched all my videos on her. But Mary, I think, because of how much she cares about her sisters, she is the caregiver of that family. She would be the first one to develop a conscience. I really think she would be the first one to develop a conscience. And once she had that conscience, whoo boy, the caregiver in her would be going, oh my god, what have we done? What have we done? This is terrible. We gotta do something about this. And then, whoop, opportunity knocks on the door. Hello, my name is Becca. So, that's what I think about that. Again, do I think Disney's gonna do it? Probably not. I'm probably reading too much into this, but for Mary, I am giving her the solid 50-50 shot that this is possibly going to happen. Okay, real fast before I wrap this up. The reason I said that about the song a few minutes ago is because I'm currently walking a fine line with my content. I'm making plenty of it and reporting on the news, but I personally am trying to steer clear of stuff that easily runs into spoiler territory. I have not watched the new song that got leaked because personally, I don't know about the rest of you, I want to keep that as a surprise when I watch the movie. Yes, I know they are covering One Way or Another by Blondie. That was unavoidable to find out because everyone wanted me to see it, including several of you in the comments, which I still love you. But no, I'm not going into it any more than that. And I ask you all kindly, please keep spoiler content out of the comments section. I'm going to be monitoring them very closely and removing anything that I deem too deep into spoiler territory. Here's a good rule of thumb. If you have to think about it being a potential spoiler, it probably is. The reasoning I'm doing this is because I want to go into this movie knowing enough, but very little at the same time. I remember how I felt when I was 4 years old and I popped my new Hocus Pocus VHS into the VCR for the first time. Yes, I just dated myself. I remember how hard I fell in love with everything happening on screen because I had no idea what the movie was about. Little Casey is trying to let adult Casey have the same feeling going into Hocus Pocus 2. I get it. I really do. We live in an age where things don't stay secret for long because now everyone has a camera on them at all times. But I can still protect myself for the most part. And those of you who may feel the same way about me. I know a lot of people don't care about spoilers, but there are quite a few of us who do. So out of respect for me and the other members of this channel who don't want this movie spoiled, if you know something, think about it before you post it. If you think it's going to be too much of a spoiler, it probably is, so please do not post it. I will remove it. This is your only warning. If not, I'm gonna let Sarah explain what's gonna happen.
Hang him on a hook and let me play with him.
Okay, that about wraps it up for this video. What do you guys think? Do you think the evidence I found means Mary might be a turncoat? Or do you think I'm reading too much into this and Kathy was just not on set when that played out? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you are new to my channel, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. And if you are subscribed, remember to smash the like button. It's free, it helps me, and what helps me helps you get more Hocus Pocus content. Stay tuned for more Hocus Pocus 2 news, speculation, and of course other Hocus Pocus related content. I am Casey Zelgelman, aka the 4th Sanderson sister, and I will see you guys later.
I have put a